but there's something about Ackee and Saltfish in
There's
Jamaica.
something in the water.
Listen,
There's something in the water.
listen. I'm a natural floater.
Okay.
Like, I'm a balloon, basically.
Yeah.
But you need to be grounded. You need to have some sort of discipline. And, I don't want to go through that. Yeah, it's like, what's the title of this chapter? Like,
Untitled.
Another advice that I keep near, aside from live, laugh, love,
Yeah.
is that persistence is the key to success in life. We take everything except punches.
That part.
We accept
and L's.
everything except
But
violence.
L's are also necessary.
Facts.
It's all necessary.
With Tifani Sage.
All right, guys. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we made it. Geraldine is here.
Beep, beep, beep. Yes.
Let's jump right into this. Guys, thank you so much for coming back to another episode of It's All Necessary. You see, Mia Bones. I'm excited.
I did the same thing when I sat on the couch.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Okay.
I said,
So-
so it's comfy.
I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much for coming back. This is a space that we will be discovering and realizing that all of our, let's say, life experiences, they're all necessary for our self-growth. They are. Even when they make us laugh like that. Like, subscribe, leave your feedback. I want to hear from you. And let's get this cracking. So, my special guest, Geraldine. I don't want to butcher your last name, so pronounce it for me.
Leibot, like robot.
Oh, Leibot. Okay. So my guest, Geraldine, is an amazing human being.
Oh.
She is a tour manager, production coordinator, and lover of life. And also, too, she's very hard to get in person. So I'm very happy that you're here and I got you. And if you're ever in her presence, it is a blessing. Okay?
You're so sweet.
You're welcome. So, like sugar. So let's get it started. I almost said a curse word.
Oh,
Childhood.
No cursing.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Fun for the whole
Go ahead,
family.
go ahead.
All right, cool.
Childhood. I have like some little questions here, but I'm like, no, I
Yes.
want to go off the top of my head for this. How would you say in your childhood, or let me phrase this, how has your upbringing helped shape you to who you are today?
I would say that some of the things that definitely shaped me as a child was spending alone time.
Oh,
I was alone a lot as a child. My
Speak
parents,
on it.
my
Speak on
parents
it.
worked a lot, and so
wait, and are you a single child?
I have two sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Younger, older?
They're both younger.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm the oldest. Yeah.
Please dive into alone time.
Yeah.
I love alone time a little too much.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if that's bad or good, but go ahead.
You have to have a relationship with yourself. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but isolation, too much isolation can also be not the best. Spending alone time was super important to learn to ask myself questions.
I'm sorry. The whole interview, I feel like I'm going to be like, Geraldine, you do that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I had to learn to ask myself questions a lot because I didn't really have anyone to, like, I had cousins and stuff, but my younger sibling who I lived with is autistic.
Okay.
And she's 8 years younger than me. And so there wasn't really space for us to relate much or like play much as children because we weren't in the same age range and we were different. And although she's able-bodied, we were interested in different things growing up. And so I spent a lot of time like getting on the train by myself and like getting on the bus.
And what city was this?
New York.
Okay.
Period, all day. Shout out Queens.
Yeah.
718. Always home, never repping. I mean, never home, always repping.
That's
Wow.
what it is. That's okay.
I'm about to lose my residency.
Get her off. Please stop.
In New York. Yeah, in New York. So I had to, when you're alone, you're kind of forced to find ways to occupy yourself. And in that, you realize that there's so much happening that you don't know about if you're not exposed to it. And so I would say that spending alone time as a child outside made me curious about the world.
All right, so my name is Tifani Sage. I'm a confidence and clarity life coach. If you're feeling unfulfilled in your life or you don't know what's next for you, I'm your girl. I can take you to new levels of clarity. Click the link in my bio for a complimentary, yeah, I said it, complimentary call with me so we can get your life on track. Click the link so we can connect.
And I think that I'm where I'm at because I've been curious about the world. Because I'm like, oh, what's that? Who are those people over there? What's going on here?
That's a gem drop. And let me say this. Let me stop.
Period.
I will say that. What were we talking about again? I'm so sorry.
No worries. You asked me what in my childhood.
Curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this to any person who has ever been told that their curiosity is a bad thing, or AKA being nosy. F that. F that. Be curious and ask questions, because not to divert, but I feel like there's been times I've been in spaces and in faces of people where I am being curious and I ask the right questions, or I'm just quiet and it's like, man, what could I have learned, or who could I have been in contact with, you know, had I been curious? So I'm really glad you said that, and I'm glad you're a curious soul.
Yeah. There was, you know, when you're in school and they're like, oh, I don't know, I can't remember what class. Oh, maybe it's social studies.
Mm-hmm.
When you're learning social studies in elementary school and they're like the 5 W's and the H, the who, what, where, when, why, how. And so, you know, you learn that when you're a child, but
I
like,
think it's English class or something. I don't know.
yes,
Yeah.
just to like, I mean, I don't know if it's journalism, but anyway, just like having that in your mind, like that that goes beyond school, like in every and any situation, who, what, where, when, why, how.
Yeah.
Like just as a way to, you know, like, oh, I know this in full.
Mm-hmm.
I know the who, the what, the where, the why, the how, and the when.
Ooh.
I think I forgot one, but that shit is important. You learn it in school, and then
I feel like I spaced out a while ago, and I was like, she's really here. I'm sorry, because we were supposed to do this before, and I was just like,
yeah,
I really want Geraldine on the show.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
And I got her on the show. Love it. So you followed your curiosity. That helped you. Also, being with yourself and asking yourself questions and learning about yourself, that has definitely translated into who you are now, and it's helped you.
Definitely.
I love that.
Definitely.
I feel like reading off your resume a little bit, but aren't you at the Super Bowl?
I was working not at the Super. I was at the Super Bowl. I did. Somebody gifted me a ticket. It was very,
boom. And that was probably good karma.
Very
I feel like you have
nice.
good karma.
But girl, we just, you know, we take everything except punches.
That part.
We accept
and L's.
everything except
but
violence.
L's are also not so sorry.
Yeah. No facts. Absolutely. Yes. 100%.
So you know what? I'm gonna pivot off of there. This is just so unorganized, but I don't give a flying beep. With your losses, we're not gonna say losses. With the lessons,
Yeah.
what has been a painful L or a painful lesson where you're like, you know what, never again, or okay, I feel you, universe. I'm gonna like go, you know, going forward, I'm gonna act different because bing, bing, bing.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I call it like a work heartbreak is what I call it. It's what happened. I applied for this position a long time ago for, you know, genius.com.
Yes.
So there was a position there and I can't even remember. LOL. I can't even remember. And I was devastated, but I can't even tell you what the position was right now. But it was under Rob Markman, who I don't know if he's still there, but he ran like everything that had to do with talent at Genius, like all of the interviews that they do, all of the different programs that they have around music. Like he was the guy, and I was like, oh, this guy's so cool from New York, like, you know, a brown man. So I was really excited and I applied, and this was like the first job that I didn't know that you could apply for that you would apply for jobs and have rounds. Like I thought that you would just apply for a job and they would tell you if you got it or not.
Yeah.
But with this job, they were like, oh yeah, you got the first, like you made it past the first round. But I'm like, okay, there's a second round? Like
a
there are
second
rounds?
interview?
Yeah. And I didn't know that. That wasn't like a thing that I've never applied for like a real, like a serious job like that.
Flex.
And so
let me hear what she has said. Flex.
I said,
Because I'm like, Geraldine, yeah. There's second interviews or third interviews.
but like not because I'm like that girl, but like I'd never like I don't have family members who have jobs like that in music. Like I don't have people. My family works in service.
Okay.
Like weren't immigrants.
Mm-hmm,
like I'm first generation. Nobody in my family.
And where are you from?
The Dominican Republic. Shout out Haiti. But yeah, and so like it wasn't like I was like, oh, I didn't know that these were options, that these were things. And so I applied for this job, and my roommate at the time like helped me, and he was like, all right, like, and I poured my heart and soul into, they had assignments. I'm like, okay. So now I finished the interview. I made it to the second round. And now the second round is an assignment. I gotta do homework in this whole.
Wow. Okay. I've never done that, so that's new for me.
Like 3 assignments in one type of.
What were, just to delve into it a little bit, what was like one assignment that you had to do?
One of them was like pick 3 songs that you feel like should be on. They had or still have a series on Genius that broke down lyrics. And so it was like give us 3 songs that you would suggest to be on this series or whatever.
Is this the applicants doing their job?
Like
researching, like, oh well, 3 songs. Oh, thanks, great.
Listen.
Hey, Becca, can you go do that, please?
I'ma just say, and I don't, I'm not tooting my own horn for nothing, but my assignment was so good. Like I was very proud. I put my heart and my soul, like rewrite and like what song, like really was in my shit, and they dubbed me. Real bad. Like
How?
I even wrote a handwritten thank you letter that I mailed to the office for Rob for interviewing me.
Wow.
Which you should always do. Thank the people who are interviewing you. Anyway, yeah, they dubbed me. They dubbed my shit hard for, a man. Which, it's fine.
How did
whatever.
they dub you bad? That's not the right phrase.
Well, yeah, sorry. Yeah, right. Let me.
Sorry.
They politely declined.
Oh.
And they didn't accept me, and I was really heartbroken because I was like, I'm the perfect, this is the perfect job. I'm the perfect candidate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm from New York, born in,
Yeah.
I live and breathe music. Like, how is this not for me?
Yeah,
How? Like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
You look at the job description, everyone's like, oh, that's you.
That's you.
And so, and they did for a second, but then I guess somebody else, they thought somebody else was more fit. And so, yeah, I was devastated. And, your friends are there and they're supportive and they tell you that things are going to be okay. But I don't know, like rejection, at least for me at that level, it felt deep because, I'm a Black woman and I'm like, I don't like, why, what are all the reasons why you guys rejected me? Like, and then you don't tell me, like you go to these interviews, you go to these rounds, you do assignments, and then it's like, oh yeah, we've gone with someone else. But like, what about me wasn't good enough?
It was like very invested though. The homework part. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm stuck there. I'm just like, I put time into this.
The shit was real. But my mom, it was a conversation with my mom that kind of helped shift the perspective. And she was like, you don't know why you're not getting that job. You don't know what kind of like job conditions or labor conditions are happening at Genius. You don't know, you don't even know.
Shout out to Genius. We still love you.
Oh yeah, no, facts. Shout out Rob Markman. But yeah, you don't, she was like, and I felt like she was kind of dragging me, but it's my mom, so I'm gonna let her rock. Because what are you gonna do? Not let your mom cook you? Like, it's fine. You got it.
I love it. I feel like I'm gonna be learning so many words after this. Someone's dragging me. You're trying to cook me. Stop.
LOL.
Oh, shoot.
She was like, I love you to death, but like, you don't be waking up on time. So could you? And that was my mom being brutally honest with me. Like, and she was right at that time. Like, I was really waking up on time. Like, I things were serious, but they weren't that serious. And I told my mom, I'm like, are you crazy? Like, had I gotten this job, like I would have woke up on time. And she was like, you would have developed a habit that you don't have just by the sake of getting a job. Like, be serious, be for real.
Ooh.
Be for real.
Yeah.
And so I then had to like realize like, yeah, like you're right. Like there's a bigger reason why this is being kept from me. And I don't know why. And what I learned is that I'm capable, right? Like I got into that. My resume got me into the room, which then got me an assignment, like the second interview or whatever. So I didn't do anything wrong. There was just someone that was a better fit. And that's okay. Like sometimes things just aren't for you, but that process of like me applying, me putting my heart and my soul into this assignment, like that was the practice. I'm glad I didn't get the job. In hindsight, like I probably would have, you know, my mom was like, what if you would have gotten the job? You would have been shit at the job, or you would have shown up late and they would have fired your ass. And now you have this reputation of being the person who got fired from this prestigious job for being late or for not having like certain things intact just as a human. And so she's like, you know, instead of being the person who got fired from this job for not showing up on time, now you're the person who just made it to the second round but didn't get just didn't get the position.
And so would you say with that it taught you to enlarge your perspective on things when things don't work out? Because it's still working out, it's just in that moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's always a bigger purpose. Hindsight is 2020, right? Like you only, you know,
it so is
think about all the things you've wanted, like and how bad you wanted them at that point in your life. Like, do you still want them things now? Do you still want those people now?
That's
like
true.
And if you do, then you got to do some work. But you know, like it's fine. Like you don't. And so you have to, you can't experience the happy if you don't experience the sad. Like,
and you can't appreciate it.
It's either. The yin yang of it all. Like you need both. And anyone who tries to escape one, like, is really fighting something deeper, I think.
You said something while you were saying about the waking up, or that like your lack of waking up on time or whatever, and you like to kind of flow. Has that helped you? Does that also like, is that, what is it, like a transferable skill where it's like, wait. A transferable skill, I'm trying to make it into a positive. A transferable skill where you naturally wake up, and then so it teaches you to be like, you know what, let me just flow in life.
No, because that's who I am, period. Like, I'm a natural floater.
Okay.
Like, I'm a balloon, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
hot air balloon. Yeah.
But eventually, like, where do you end up as this? You just, you know, you need to be grounded. You need to have some sort of discipline. And so, no, I hate to say it, but no, only because like the rest of my life, I live very open and very like, oh yeah, you know, the wind blew that way, so I'm gonna go that way. That's like my general point. So I need like, that's like 80% of me. So I need 20% of discipline to really
boom, boom, boom.
Especially not to sleep.
So pivoting into the next, I mean, we're just floating. I love this. So with that, with what you just said, I guess it's a two-part. One, what is a quality or a trait that you find yourself attracted in other people, or it could be a potential romantic partner, and or do you look at like, okay, that person looks grounded, I need yous in my life because you can help me with, so
I think to answer your first question, or first quality that I like in a person romantically, right?
Yeah. Platonic or romantic?
I would have probably have
the blushing.
Well, just because I've been thinking about this a lot, you know, just like what for real, like what are the things about people that I like, like specifically, like down to the act, like what is it for real?
If you know that,
I do because I've been thinking about it. Okay. You know, it's support. But it also looks like chivalry, but it's also awareness. And if you put all those things together, it's like if you're walking down the street and you see a woman who is walking with a bunch of bags and your instinct is to run to the door to help her, to be like, oh, let me.
Yeah.
Or if you see, you know, a woman with a carriage and she's going downstairs and your first instinct is to be like, let me hold the carriage for you. I don't know what that is called. Yeah. But I know that I have that. And I would love to find someone who has that too. Because it's support. It's like, oh, you can see a need and you're quick to try to figure out what that need is. Like, and it's like second nature. It's like, oh, someone's in need of help. Let me go help them. And I've seen people do that. Yeah. I've seen that trait in people.
Have you ever been the type to help to a fault where it's like, oh, now Geraldine's in a fucked up situation because you were busy helping too much and you weren't helping yourself?
Yeah. But that's a hard balance. Like, you help because a part of you wants to offer support. Like, if you're helping and it turns back on you, or you feel some type of way, or you are affected by
Mhm.
the support that you gave, then you need to check why you gave the support
Oh,
to begin with.
shoot.
Right? I
Yeah.
think like that
That's
would be
deep,
my
yeah.
own questioning. Like, okay, well, if helping is a good thing and it's something that I want to do, like, why am I feeling so much resistance within myself? You know, there is such a thing as helping to a fault, but
Mhm.
like, you gotta have discernment.
Yeah.
You know, if you're giving, you can't help without having.
Oh,
Is what
I'm
they
so
say.
glad you're on the show. Let's see here. Da-da-da-da-ding. Fondest childhood memory?
Oof. What I have not been thinking about, because therapy has me thinking about all the not so nice things. Okay, no, I'm kidding. My fondest childhood memory. What age range? Because
I
I've
would
lived a
probably
life.
say maybe like 9 years old to
What grade are you in? 9 years old?
14.
Third grade.
Shout out to Flying knowing like
That was quick. Yeah. You got the numbers for the lotto tomorrow? What's up?
Yeah, right. Give me them numbers.
Let's see. Fondest childhood memory. Oh, for facts. Seeing In Sync at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania.
Why?
2001. It was my first concert. Bye. Yeah, it was my first concert, and I had a fucking blast. I was like, oh, I know all the words. I see my guys. They're singing, they're dancing.
Who was your guy in the band?
JC.
Really? Mine was, I got mixed up with Backstreet Boys a while ago. Mine was Justin. And then if we're doing Backstreet Boys, I liked Brian a lot.
I couldn't tell you none of them boys.
Really?
Backstreet, who? No.
Wow.
In
You're more like
Sync.
Blackstreet.
Who?
Okay.
Gotta get you home. Yeah. That was Foxy Brown.
For a second, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Shout out New York.
Oh, you heard that?
Is that a train?
Let's go on to top 2 section before we get into like the deep stuff. So, top 2 books that have really been pivotal
in my
for
life.
you. Yeah. It could just be like a good read, or it's like, oh my gosh, this really saved my way of thinking.
Yeah. There's a book, and just because like I'm a fan of story, it's a book called Homegoing by this Ghanaian woman named Yagasi.
It's the red cover.
Yes, that's the paperback one, but exactly.
Geraldine.
Exactly. Have you read it?
Yes.
Girl, that book
Sorry,
is
not to
insane.
scream in your guys' ear. Sorry.
Listen, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, her last name right, but it's Gyassi, I think. Yeah, that book is insane. First of all, I've never read a book like that chronicles like that goes back and forth between that goes back and forth between chapters to tell a story
through generations.
And like the story, the story of what happened to the people who were colonized, the people in the continent of Africa who were colonized by the whites, the Europeans.
Yeah.
What happened to the people who stayed there, because we know about the transatlantic slave trade, we know about slavery, we know about Jim Crow and all the stuff that happened. We know about that history, but we don't know what was going on in current Ghana, in current Nigeria, in current Niger. Like what happened to those people? Yeah. And so that story is the way that the elements, the way that fire shows up in the book. Like if I had to read one book for the rest of my life, it'd be that book.
Let me tell you, I vividly remember after reading a chapter, it was either after reading a chapter or reading the whole book. No, actually it was a chapter. I went to take a shower, and I remember putting the bar of soap and just lathering my skin. And I was like, thinking about the book, I was like, oh my God, because of my color of skin, I could have experienced all of that. That book had me so engulfed. And I don't remember, I think it was like a former friend that told me about it, but that just had me, I was emotionally wrapped up in that book. Yeah.
And the way that she like exposes, and it's not anything new, but the way that she exposes the way Christianity played such a pivotal role, such a dangerous role in colonizing the folks that's on the continent. Yeah, that book is Intense.
And I do remember this too, when she got later down in the generations, how the language started changing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is such a mind F.
Yeah. She has another book, Yagasi, a second book.
Okay.
Can't remember the name of it at the moment, but it's really good as well.
And it's a novel? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The second book, I don't know why I'm blanking, but I'd probably
We can go to the next one if you want.
Yeah.
Because that one, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 2 albums or movies that you wish you could take the credit for. So, as a director or executive producer.
Fantastic question. Albums that I wish I could take credit for. Boom. D'Angelo Voodoo.
Ooh, okay.
Period.
My homegirl loves D'Angelo.
Yep. You crazy not to. Sorry, not sorry. The other album. Oh, period. Marvin Gaye, I Want You. Do you know how many times that album has been sampled? Yeah. That whole album. If you've never listened to it, listen to it because you're like, oh, this is hip hop. This is a history of hip hop just in Marvin Gaye's I Want You, the deluxe one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me.
Really?
Geraldine Gay. I was me on the vocals. I want you.
To get you here. Yeah. This is awesome.
It was me.
Then movies, or you just want to do albums?
I'm gonna just tell you my favorite movie because I feel like it's so good that I wish I made it.
I feel like it's an old
and I
time.
wish I acted in it as well.
Give me a clue. Let me see if I can guess.
Jim Carrey is in it, but he's not funny at all. Like nothing about Jim Carrey is LOL in the movie.
And what is it? What's the letter? Does it start with?
E.
I love Jim Carrey, by the way. So this is why I feel like bad that I can't remember.
Erase.
But I'm just thinking Evan Almighty, but I don't think he was in it. Okay, never mind.
Wasn't that Bruce?
Yeah.
Who is Evan?
No, but then there was like a sequel to. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, no.
I'm embarrassing myself. So wait, hold on. Let me try to remember. Okay, E. What's the next letter?
T. But he doesn't phone home though.
I don't know what this movie is. Tell me.
Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
How the heck was I gonna remember that?
Well, I don't. You took the challenge.
Yeah. So tell me why that.
It's a great the story is awesome. It's about this man who meets this girl at a library, and they start to have this really cute romance, and then they get into an argument, and her erratic ass is like, you know what? I'm gonna go get this. I can't say the N-word. Okay. I'm gonna go get this man off of. I'm erased from my memory. Literally gonna go through a procedure that will delete him from my brain because I'm tight and I want to forget him right now. And so she does. And so the next day he pulls up on his girl hey, I have flowers. I'm sorry. Let's And she's like, hey, welcome to the library. How can I help you? And he's like, what you mean? You're my girl. We just had an argument yesterday, but we should be you're my girl. She's like, hi, how can you need help? What's up? What's tea? And he then the movie is clearly, obviously about him trying to get her to essentially fall in love with him again, while this other person is essentially taking all the things that he did for her and is trying to do them to make somebody else is trying to make her fall in love with him. And so it's basically the story of what's for you is for you no matter what. Even if you try to erase their connection is going to always find its way back because that's who they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be with each other. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
I like that. I wonder if and when I watch that film, if I would get that messaging, because the message that you just said, what's for you is for you. Yeah. And I feel like that is just that statement is just all of what I want all of this to give into the world. Yeah, truly. It really is all necessary, Sometimes it pisses me off because it's I think I could do without this part in life, God, but that's great. That's how you form gratitude. That's how you build gratitude practice is even in
in the tough times. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm supposed to be learning something.
Yeah.
Like, what's the message? What's the message? Like,
that.
what's the mission statement? What's
Yeah.
the plan?
And I feel sometimes, I know for me, sometimes I don't see it until after,
Yeah.
like a little bit after, but it's just like, I don't want to go through this.
Yeah, it's like, what's the title of this chapter, nigga? Like,
Yeah. Untitled.
like what's going on? Girl drowns, like a warning, something.
Your top 2, I'll say top 1 because I just want to like bombard you with a lot of questions tonight.
Rapid fire, boom.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? This is gonna be rapid fire. You ready? Your favorite piece of advice given to you.
Live, laugh, love, boom. Next.
Oh my God, you're fast.
Yeah, period. Listen, simple. Live, laugh, love. It sounds corny as hell,
But do it.
but like, what else? You got one life.
That's true. Or you could be sadder, saddest.
Which, yeah, like that's an
And no one wants
emotion
that.
that you can process and that you should feel as well. But
True.
like, live,
Don't
laugh,
that
love.
be like your
No, hell no. And also, like, you have to be able to be okay with making a fool out of yourself in front of
That.
anybody. In front
Tell
of
me why.
anybody. Because who cares? Life is short.
Yeah.
And if you can't laugh at yourself, bitch, who? Like, you can't take yourself too seriously.
Well, I will say in other people's defense, they'll be like, well, I don't laugh at myself, but I'll laugh at you. It's like, no, you're corny for that.
Yeah, go to church.
Ooh. There you go. Favorite place traveled?
Jamaica, period. Period.
Stand up.
When
Stand
I
up.
go,
I'm surprised. Wait.
take my body
wait,
to Portmore.
wait.
Yeah, honestly, I love Jamaica. I love the cameras here. I
And
love
there, and there.
I love Jamaicans. Yeah.
Wait, so I
Stay away
just
from me,
wanna
but
say-
I love Jamaicans.
wait,
Mhm.
wait. I'm sorry. I know you said rapid fire, but
Mhm.
not it. Pull up.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on this.
The
So-
men, the women, period. Like everybody.
Hold
Get
on,
it.
wait.
Sorry.
I can't.
My bad.
This is please stand by.
Uh.
So I need to gather myself and gain my composure. I was surprised that you didn't say, or do you not feel a way that you didn't say your home country?
No,
Why?
I love DR and it
Yes.
is like near and dear to my heart, but there's something about Aki and Saltfish in
There's
Jamaica.
something in the water. There's something in the water.
Listen.
I
yeah.
think, not to toot my country's horn, but
Yeah, toot it, girl.
I just feel
Mhm.
that there is something there in the coconut water, in the mango, the
Mhm.
grapefruit, the breadfruit,
Mhm.
all
The
the
sour-
something
mhm.
that it's just
Mhm.
something back in
Mhm.
the slave trade days. They said, you know what? These black folks here are a little too much.
Yeah.
Send them all
Yeah.
off far in Jamaica.
Yeah, and then Panama a little later.
Favorite mental health practice?
You know, I want to say meditation, but I'm not even gonna hold you. I have yet. It hasn't stuck yet. It's a practice. It's a something that I'm still actively working
Yeah.
on. So I'm gonna go ahead and say yoga.
Really?
Absolutely, something about moving your body as you breathe, and like figuring out that without your breath, like
You know
you're
what's
not.
funny?
you're
You
not
said
going.
moving your body as you breathe. I was like, oh, sex.
Oh, another practice I enjoy, for mental health and stress release. But yeah, you need to move energy through your body. You need to, it makes you feel present. It's kind of like when
Yeah.
you're swimming. It's like your breath and your body are working at the same time, and you can't like fuck around or else you're gonna
Yeah.
drown, or you're gonna fuck up a bone. Or if you're biking, like that's why I like biking a lot, because if
That's
you
why
fuck
we're biking
around,
this weekend.
yes, if you fuck around, you're gonna fall. You're gonna get doored. Like you have to be present. It
Yeah.
forces you to be present, and yeah, that helps me bring all the chatter, all the
that.
noise to a quiet.
Oh, I love it. All right, let's move on to work and life.
Work.
Brrr. Ooh, in the sense of metaphors, how do you view life? So, for example, I view life as a video game. It's all one big video game. You gotta meet that person to connect through there. Then you gotta go back to your little home, recharge, and pass next level. And but whatever.
It's
How
gonna
do
be
you-
Farmville and Sims.
Yeah.
got it.
I was thinking Crash Bandicoot.
Don't know that one.
Remember
But
that?
okay,
Yes, you
okay.
do. If I show you the little like, he's like a. Okay, whatever. I think he's like a fox.
Okay,
But
yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
How do you view life?
Like a comedy show.
Oh my
Special.
gosh. Tell me now.
Dark, like
That is
HBO
good.
After Dark. Like yeah, it's dark.
For
comedy.
real?
Everything and mostly is jokes. Like in life, I think. Like, yes, you have to be serious, but like sometimes like things that are funny are also like sad. If that makes sense. Or like things that make you happy make you cry. And sometimes like you have to, in order for you to not feel so shitty about the fuck parts, like you have to laugh.
You have to laugh.
You know?
Back to your live, love, laugh thing.
No, period. It's like kind of, you know, people would be like, oh, you're cutting ass. Like black people like to cut ass.
What is that? I'm sorry.
What is cutting ass?
Yeah,
is that a New York term? Okay, so
Please.
Cutting ass is when you like go back and forth with somebody and you're like, oh, like
your
you
mama
got
this.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's playing the dozens is really the
Well,
term.
like, what's that?
You know, you cutting ass, like you going back and forth, playing the dozens.
Okay.
And so like it's something that, at least when I learned about it in African American history class, they talked about how like slaves would play, like they would play the dozens with each other, which means that they would just sit there and look in a group and shit and just cut ass with each other, like, oh, your mama this, your mama that, as a way to pass the time, right? Like and sometimes even making fun of the fact that they were in the situations that they were in as, you know, slaves and stuff. And so you have to be able to like laugh. Even in those conditions, which were fucking terrible, they still found ways to like find humor and like laugh through what was going on and like make fun of each other about, you know, the fucked up shit that was going on. But they were still able to do that. One, like as a means of community, but also I think in my mind to like heal, because you, even when you're going through fuck shit, like you still need to be able to laugh. You
do. And I think that sheds light as to why black people are just so full
resilient.
Of vibes. Yeah,
for
resilient.
Facts. Yes.
And even like comedic
on
to a different level.
Bro, you be on Twitter and you're like, oh, so nothing is serious. Like everything could get it. Anything could be made fun of. LOL. At everything. Yeah, no. What else can you do? Like,
that's true.
You're either gonna laugh and you're gonna cry, or, you know, you're gonna not be here anymore. And I don't know that that's an option.
Yeah.
At least not for me.
Love that. Same. How did you navigate your way into the entertainment industry?
Stalking.
Really?
Yeah, I took it way back to just basic, like, you are the person I want to speak to, so I'm going to show up to every place that you're at and make sure that you see me and that you hear me, and that eventually, like, you know, you'll see me enough and then you'll take me seriously eventually. But yeah, there's this woman who I feel like if you know me, you know this, like, there's this woman who was doing the job that I wanted to do.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about
and I stalked her for a year and a half. I would just
a year and a half, Geraldine.
Facts. I showed up she was doing a show at South by Southwest in Texas. And
Wait a minute, I just realized this. You said follow, so like different states and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I like yes. If I tell you, like, yes, I went to Texas. I flew to Texas to, like, I knew that the people that she was working with were doing a show. And I was like, all right, cool. She's going to be there. Like, she's going to eventually have to come out of the building. Maybe not through the front, but maybe through the back. Like, every place has a back door, no? And so, yeah, I went to the show and I pulled up and waited. And eventually she came out. I was like, hey, miss, like, can I speak to you? Like, this is my email. This is what I'm trying to do. And she was like, yeah, hit me up. And then she kind of went ghost. And then I pulled up on her again. Somewhere else. And
what was her response this time?
Well, she definitely thought I was a little more serious. I think if I remember correctly, she gave me her email at that point. Okay. And was like, oh yeah, like, send me an email. But it took like
but I did the first time.
Yeah, literally what I said. And she was like, well, send it to me again. You know, busy person, like, for sure. Like, who's this cuckoo girl that's just pulling up to places wanting to talk to me, telling me that she's gonna work for free. And eventually, like, after I think when I got her email, I was just emailing her a lot, and she would like go ghost on me, and then she would come back, and then she would go ghost. And eventually I was like, hey, miss, like, I don't want to be clogging your inbox. Like, I know you're busy. If it's not going to work out, if I'm not, just let me know. So I don't want to, I know you're busy. I know all these follow-up emails could get annoying. Yeah. And she responded then and was like, it's not that. I'm really trying. I'm just, doing a lot or whatever. And so, like, I gave it space. I ended up moving to LA for a completely different job. And then when I got here, I was like, all right, boom, sis, like, I'm here. You don't have to worry about housing, flight, nothing. Like, just let me be next to you. You don't pay me. Just let me be next to you. And eventually she did.
What is for you is for you.
She let it happen, yeah. And it wasn't easy. Like, it took a lot of persistence. But if it's one thing that I've learned, and then another advice that I keep near, aside from live, laugh, love, is that persistence is the key to success in life. Like, you gotta keep at it, especially if you want it, you have to,
How do you know when something like it's requiring you to be persistent versus, well, if this was for me, it would be happening?
First of all, nothing is easy. Nothing in life is easy. So, like, if I pulled up on her that one time and she, like, let me work for her, it would have been so much. I think that my output would have been so much different than when she hit me up that year and a half later. Like, I was like, oh, I've been fiending for this opportunity. Like, I've been waiting to be in the paint to be able to show you, what I could do and what I'm capable of. I don't know. I feel like I definitely didn't answer your question, but I don't know. Letting go is hard. Letting go of things that you desire is hard. Like, whether that is dreams, people, ideas, like, that is something that if I'm keeping it 1,000, I'm still learning. Yeah. I think that often people are told, like, you can't be a quitter. You can't, like, quit on things. You gotta, like, give it your all. And you do, like, that's a fact. But you also gotta know when to be like, I'm a humbly bow out. Like, this isn't for me. I think when you see yourself acting in ways that you don't like, or ways that you feel like are not, like, are gross, like, oh, I don't want to be, that's kind of a nasty way of being. Yeah. I think when you start acting like that towards the things that you want, then it's time to reassess, or, like, maybe this isn't really what you wanted, because why are you
and what you want doesn't want you.
Yeah. And that's when you have to learn to humbly put it down. Like, you could love from a distance. This is like,
getting deep.
You could definitely love from a distance.
Have you let go of something before and then something else came and it's like, oh, this is actually what I needed?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Definitely. In work and in people.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, again, with the hindsight, like, it's 2020. I feel like my first relationship I thought was, like, the greatest thing ever. And I was like, oh, this is, like, okay, cool. Like, you go on dates, you do this thing, like, nice. And then the next person that I dated, I was like, oh, okay, like, you have conversations, like, you talk about your future, like, you talk about your dreams and your desires, like, your childhood. Like, my first relationship it was, like, when I was 18, and so it was cute, and, like, we would spend time, but it wasn't deep. Like, there wasn't depth to the relationship. And it wasn't until, like, my third and second relationship that I was like, oh, cool, like, this is how you are in relationship with people. Like, this is how you do romance. Like, this is how you court someone. This is how you show up for a partner, and so it took people to teach me. It took relationships to teach me that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. We trying, girl.
Let's Ooh, if you could have a second chance at one event in your life, what would you choose? What would you do differently? How would your life be different now?
Honestly, if I would change, like, a smidget, like a like a 0.3 second decibel thing of my life, of, like, the story of my life, I wouldn't be sitting on this exact couch. Like, I just wouldn't. Like, life is so, like, how people, shit happen and you're like, wow, if I had taken 3 more steps, the shit would have fell on me and I would have died. Or, like, if I would have made a left too quickly, like, the shit, and then I would have been gone. Like, life is quick. Shit happens very fast. And so I think that every time that I, like, didn't wake up on time, or that I woke up on time, or that, like, something happened with my dad, or something happened with my mom or my little sister, or, like, anything, because it's all necessary, right? Like, any little thing that happened was necessary for me to be sitting right here. So if I give thought to what I would do differently, it would mean that I wouldn't like it almost makes me feel like I don't appreciate where I am right now. And so I would rather think about, like, I would rather think about how grateful I am to be here than what I would have done differently, because I can't change it. And who know, like anything that I would change wouldn't allow me to like be here and have these relationships. Like who knows if I would have met you had something in my life been different. So, and I'm glad I met you. So, you know, I can't regret. It's not an option for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What's the latest conversation that you've had, personal or business wise, that has resonated with you?
You said personal or business wise? I would say two things. One is like the personal. I had a conversation today with a friend about like what it means to be humble, and how like being humble has a lot to do with knowing that there's space for you to still learn more. And like what the balance and the thin line is between confidence and like humility.
Yeah. And
how those things they don't go hand in hand, but like there's a healthy way to have both. And how you're always a student, and how it's like you have to remember that you're always a student learning. And so humility is something that I've been thinking about a lot. And what it means to be in service of people. Again, like how do you what does it mean to be in service of your friends, in service of your family? How you show up for people, you know, and asking people how they want to be shown up for, versus like, oh, like I'm gonna just, you know, do X because I know that's what makes me happy. But like asking people like, what, how do you need me to pull up on you? Like, what you need in this moment? You know,
AKA, what's your love language?
Right.
So I can speak that.
Right. And like in business, I would say, get your high yield savings. Like the high yield savings thing, and I know people be talking about it on TikTok a lot, but the high yield savings shit is real. Like, do not save money in a traditional savings account. Nothing happens. Like nothing. You could be gaining like 4%. Some people I think have 4.5%, but like get you a savings account where you could actually like make money on what you have parked there. Because keeping your money under your mattress and or in a traditional savings account is really a dub. It's not good.
She came to preach, y'all.
That's all I will say.
Moving on to essence. Essence of you. What are you most proud of in your life journey so far?
That my mom is proud of me.
Oh my gosh. Dive into that.
Yeah, my mom came to this country when she was like 26, 28, something like that. And you know, basically a single mother, like absent father type vibes, raising two kids, one with a disability, with a gap of age. You know, my mom didn't speak the language, was able to, get a job, put me through school, put me through college, like put me in dance school, like send me around the world. Although she didn't know much about this country, she like really did her best. And I've been in some spaces, like if I was to go tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, lit. Like I've lived a pretty all right life. Like I've felt so many things. I've felt such happy feelings. And I've also felt some like shit that I felt like has destroyed me. But like, I don't know. It's not terrible. Yeah. It's not a terrible life. Like I've lived a pretty all right life. So yeah, and it's all because of the sacrifices that my mom made. It's all, because of the fact that she works one job and then she cleans homes, for the rest of it, to make sure that we've had a roof over our head the whole entire. I've never been homeless, thank God, and thank my mom and her hands. And so the fact that like she's proud of me, that I've been able to take her to like, I worked a show in New York with Blackpink, and it was at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And my mom came to that show, and that was, MetLife is a football. They play soccer there. Yeah. I mean, they play American football there, not soccer. They play not football, but football there. And, it was cool to see my mom like, wow, like, look at your hard work and labor. We were sitting at the top at one of the boxes and looking down at like the stage being built and stuff, and she was like, it's so crazy that like you're a part of this big thing. And like seeing my mom be proud, like legit proud of me, and is like, I can't believe that you've made this life for yourself. And I feel like I have so far to go as far as like my life and my career. I'm a baby compared to like the senior people in my industry. I've worked to put, but the fact that in my mom's eyes, like I've like made it, that shit means the world to me. Like I could go tomorrow and I'll be great, because
you're making my heart cry. I love that.
It's true. She, you know, she's and still is working her fucking ass off. So like, seeing her tell me that she's proud of me, and me be able to like, so pay her little phone bill or whatever, like that.
When you said that you've gone through things that you felt like it almost like destroyed you, what helped pull you out of that?
Sisterhood, honestly, books, sisterhood and books, like the community of women that I have around me, that I've been blessed with, honestly, because I'm aware of how not common it is to have like a strong support system, especially of women in your life. Like everyone, I'm aware that everybody doesn't have that, and so I'm extremely grateful. But I have some 10 out of 10 homegirls who've really like held me down blindly, who have dragged me when I needed to be dragged, who've held me up when I needed support. Who've worked through things with me, like not people who maybe like have felt like I've done something wrong and then just like cut me off, like people who are like, I'm like
gave you grace,
like developing friendship, like really like, oh, we're tight, but like a month has passed and now we come back and we talk because we want to be in each other's lives. And you need to develop, like you have to go through the icky parts to get through this. It's really all necessary. Like I read somewhere once that you get closer to people by having conflict with them.
Yes,
by like resolving conflict, by having conflict that you can resolve, because you get to you get to see one like a more rawness of a person, but you also get to go deep below the surface with someone. And so it's
I love
it's
that.
really all necessary.
It makes me want to be like, old best friend, you know who you are, you know how to reach me. I think reach out to me please, because we've had conflicts.
Why can't you?
Well, I have.
Oh, I see.
And so
I see. People need their time, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta throw it up to God. Also, one thing that my cousin taught me a long time ago, and specifically related to men at that point, but I've kind of learned to apply it just in life, period. When you treat someone with kindness and respect, and when your heart is good and your intentions are like good and pure, for real, and that person treats you badly, or that person stops speaking to you, whatever, they always come back. It doesn't matter who, what.
Really?
100%. 100%.
I don't think my old friend's coming back.
I mean, did you violate? Did you do something wrong? Like,
I was just being honest with my feelings. I remember saying I made a pact with myself, and I think I might have mentioned it to her, but I was like, I'm like so deep and poetic. I was like, I don't want to leave this world without, what was it? I don't want to leave this world with words left unsaid. And so I'm going to say everything. And I said it respectfully. And it was like feelings were like shared. And I think it was just too much, where it was just not like, oh, too much words. It was just like, oh, those are some strong feelings.
Like the feedback, they were, Do you feel like?
Sorry, no. My feedback
to them,
their response, well, they didn't say it, but their actions was just like,
this is strong.
Yeah. All right, girl, I'm gonna need you to go over there with those feelings. Whatever.
You gotta give people their space. Also, like, you know, the letting go part, like, you know that your intentions were good. You weren't trying to cause malice with what you were saying, right? Like, you love this person, right? Like, you can only hope that they find it in their heart to create space for you again. But if not, then that's also just God reaffirming that that person doesn't need to be in your orbit,
man. And then it's just
as
like,
well.
But God, I'm telling you, I think I do. I think I need that person in my life.
And God is like, you need to hold on, because it's really necessary. This is necessary. And you're just not seeing it. You need to hold on to what's happening. Like, it's all right. Like, stop fighting the distance, because it's necessary in this moment. Like, that person also might have some really internal shit that they need to, you know.
And I thought that I knew I don't know. We were like this. So it was just like,
For a long time, like that was your friend
yeah.
for like 10 years deep
Oh
type?
my God, yeah. Like 15 years.
And you told her one thing and she was like,
I think this needs to be off the air.
yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. This is not.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
a lot. But it was kind of blowing so
What's for you is for you. And that's, I hope that if she's
that.
meant to be your friend again, that God places her gently back into your life.
Oh my gosh. Good
And if
word,
not,
gently, because I
then
feel...
Keep that hoe far.
I'm gonna just say I feel like the re-putting or the repotting, right?
Yeah.
Could be a little violent to my current friends, where it's like, oh, you don't check for me no more, and it's like, yeah, because my real friend's back, but it's like, no, but look at these new friends, look at these new flowers that have been just because this one has been repotted. So I like that you said gently.
Yeah.
Place. I like how I said my friends are flowers, but whatever.
You got to make sure it's not plants that like each other.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because that's the thing apparently. Like apparently if your friend's a mint, keep her.
Okay.
She will take over. She'll be like, this is my playground.
Yeah. I know I was gone, but I'm back.
I'm the captain of this ship. That's what mint be saying when it's planted in the ground. Yeah. It takes over everything.
Geraldine. I'm so glad you're in my life. Let's see. Oh my gosh. What is the lie you tell yourself most often?
Bitch, you got this.
But it is.
You can do it, mommy, in the mirror. Yeah, period. Do I believe it all the time? No. But listen, the reason why is because all of us have Issa in us. That's why she has gotten to it, because it's relatable as fuck. Like,
I was watching bitch. Insecure today. I was like, I missed this show.
Let me really be in the mirror on my.
I know you see me.
What?
Oh, you don't.
What? Huh? Yeah, I'm that bitch. What you mean? You see anybody else in this room? It's me. The fuck? Yeah. Yeah. Affirmations.
This freaking thing is
Affirmations.
Me.
Come on now.
Oh, Geraldine.
I know the woo-woo girls now are like, you gotta affirmations. Yeah, that's what Issa was doing in the mirror, affirming herself. It was, in the Issa way. But yeah. Oh my and it's not a lie. Man. It's like a lie right now because I don't fully believe it, but it's a lie that is going to evolve to the truth. Like, it's a pre-lie for a future truth.
I went house.
Can I be a lawyer?
No, it wasn't house hunting. I forgot what it was, but I was touring some house in the hills. And
better manifest, girl.
The
Period.
what?
I said you better manifest.
Right.
That's how you do it.
And the agent was asking me some questions, and I was just answering them. I wasn't lying, but I was just answering. And when I came home, I was like, I never felt like, girl, now it's like, no, I need to go and see, okay, do I like this elevation up here, or do I like something down there? Like, I need to know, so I know how to manifest correctly and envision myself. Because what if I'm in a, I don't know, 3-story house or 1-story, which I know I don't like, but I'm in a 1-story or 3-story, and it's like, oh, actually, I don't really like this. And it's like, girl, you had all this time
to check and see, to feel, literally to build your little Sims world. Exactly. Pick the door color, how many windows, facing east, south. Are you Muslim? Does it matter? Like, you really have to get specific with your dreams, or else, gosh is going to give you literally what you ask for.
All right. So, fun short questions. I could talk your head off all night, but per these cameras and these batteries,
the lights gotta turn off, honey.
Yeah.
Period. I get it.
What are you OCD about?
Oh, okay. Because I feel like it's such a petty thing, but like it really grinds my gears. When you hold the door for someone and they don't say thank you.
Oh,
get out of here. Get out. Go home. Crawl back into your mom's vagina. And yeah, because who didn't teach you manners? Like, say thank you.
Yeah.
Say thank you.
That's all.
It's not hard. It's almost like a universal, arigato, is that by? Is that okay? Well,
arigato.
Yeah. Say thank you. Obrigado. Obrigada. Yeah.
You can speak Portuguese a little bit?
Eu falo pouco de português.
Oh my god!
But that's about it, girl.
Your mouth, the way it's like, wait. In Portuguese. It's like, Imagine,
And
like,
really
the
what I just said
bachata.
was I speak a little bit of Portuguese, but that's really
I was
all.
getting that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn that next. If you received $10 million tonight, how would your tomorrow look?
Is the 10 mil taxed or no?
Nah.
10 mil tax free. Huh. Okay. Well,
Start with the breakfast. Oh, not the, sorry. I'm already thinking about the food, but start about the morning. How would that look?
The day, like the morning of.
Yeah, I guess you're flying out to Montego Bay.
Nah,
What is that?
first of all, no, hell no, no. At least not right then and there. I'm probably going to, realistically, like keeping it a big buck, I'm probably gonna fly to New York and fit like every home that I've lived in when I was a child. I would find the one that's in the best condition and figure out how much it costs.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
to get that childhood back.
To get the space back,
Okay.
to always have some sort of connection to my childhood.
Okay.
That's some shit that I feel like as a New Yorker, I'm probably, and I probably shouldn't say this because, you know, you manifest with your mouth, but that is one thing that I like feel very sad about, like
Why?
the potential, the fact that like I probably won't be able to afford a home in the neighborhood that I grew up in.
Oh.
You know, like, and not that I want to go back home, right? But like that's part of the American dream thing. Like that's one of the things that for me stuck. Like I want to get older, I want to, you know, have a life, but I also want to be able to come back to the neighborhood where I grew up in and invest in here in some way, shape, or form. Not in just like rental property, but like I came from here. Like I developed here, I grew up here, these streets raised me, however good, bad they still are and or might be. Like I want to be able to have a connection to Corona Queens for the rest of my life. And so I'd probably figure out how to buy a crib.
You're going to figure it out because you got this.
Thanks, girl. Thanks, girl.
What on you do you take the most care of?
My poom poom.
Get
out! Duh. No, I'm kidding.
Not expecting that one.
My bad. Sorry. I promise I'm respectful and I'm good at my job. Otherwise, okay, no. What do I? Probably my mouth.
Like you're like a flosser and then
Flosser, tongue
mouthwash,
scraper,
all that.
mouthwash,
Okay.
girl. Yeah, definitely.
I forget the other one, but it's like that spray water in between.
Oh,
Pike,
a
a
water
pick,
picker.
yeah, something like that.
Water picker, water
I
flosser,
use that.
water
Yeah,
flosser.
something like that.
Yeah, I got that.
Gotcha. Do you prefer to eat out or cook in?
I prefer to be eaten out. Sorry.
You do?
Huh? What?
Wait, I missed. Wait, what now?
I definitely prefer a home cooked meal.
Oh yeah.
Always, right? That was the option, out or home. Yeah, it's gonna be home for sure. I like eating out, but home. Home is where the heart is.
That made my mind go somewhere. So, what keeps you up at night?
The marijuana girl.
Oh,
no,
really?
I'm kidding. It doesn't. Honestly, Law and Order.
Really?
Correct. I love Law and Order. Love, like obsessed, like currently like watched every episode type vibe, like but not because, you know, there's like, and I don't know if people outside of New York know this, but there's Law and Order, there's Law and Order Organized Crime, there's Law and Order SVU, and there's Law and Order Criminal Intent. And the one that I like, the one that is more popular is SVU, Special Victims Unit. But somebody's always getting raped or killed or murdered, or it's just always, I mean, it's sexual violence.
And that can play on your mind.
Yeah, and I'm not really into the jams all the way, but Criminal Intent, it shows you within like the first 30 minutes who committed the murder, kind of. And then the episode is really about like why the murderer committed the murder. And
I don't like that because it's kind of rationalizing like, it's okay.
No, but everything has a reason. Like, and people don't just rah murder. Unless you're a psycho, then, you know, whatever, do your thing. But people are usually not rah murdering for no reason. Like, there's always a reason. There's always a motive, something. And often, which is what I like about the show, is that you think like, oh yeah, this person died. Like, clearly, given the story, this person is the person who did it. But then it's never that person. It's always someone else. It's always like a, you know. Yeah. And I think that is really interesting, like how they kind of, it's like you think you know where this is going, but then we hit a curve.
Yeah.
And I like the curve. I'm like, oh, that's great writing. I didn't think about that. I didn't know we were going there. Creative. And it's shot in New York. It reminds you of home. So
shout out to New York.
Yeah, Law and Order keeps
Fly,
it up.
I think that one going off. Oh, thank you.
Law and Order.
Last question.
Dun, dun.
What
That was from Law and Order.
What would you like to ask or say to your future self? Sigh.
Did the hours of did the coins that you spent in therapy did they were they worth it? Were they worth it, girl? No, I'm kidding. If I could ask my future self a question, or if I could ask my future self a question, I would ask, is there anything left that you really desire that you haven't done? And if you haven't, what's keeping you? Yeah.
That was deep and necessary. And I wonder if your future self were to tell you, to be like, yeah, I'm actually missing boom, 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 boom. Then it's like, okay, note to self, get to work on it.
I hope it's like, yeah, I'm still like, trying to swim from LA, from Long Beach to Catalina Island. Girl, like, get that together.
Yeah.
Like, we have that to do. Yeah, we'll see. Run my 15th marathon or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, last question.
Last.
Where do you feel like... I know you said, I think it was like a year and a half ago or something when you and I were speaking, you said if you didn't travel anywhere, I hope I'm not misquoting you. You said if you didn't travel anywhere else in the world, you'd be okay, because I feel like you just wanted to go back to the DR and just like hang out. Do you still feel like that?
With the exception of Jamaica, yeah. Like, I feel, and I don't know, maybe it's small-minded of me, but I feel like I've been to enough places in the world right now at the moment.
I feel like you've been to so many. That's why.
Good. Right. I'm like, I'm good if I don't get on a plane ever again.
Gotcha.
But I still do want to go to places. Like, I really want to go to Puerto Rico. I'm fiending to go to Puerto Rico. And
that's just a little
hop skip away.
Yeah.
Says the Florida girl. She's like, Puerto Rico's around the corner.
Just go.
But yeah, but that's mainly fueled by like my fear of planes and shit.
Oh, got you.
Which is counterproductive given the work I do.
But you're still doing it nonetheless.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you.
Therapy helps.
Geraldine.
For sure. Get therapy, people.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad that this happened. This means a lot to me.
Can I also say, before I go, that it is so awesome and so inspiring to see you doing things to see you like bringing your ideas to life. Like, there's so many people who have dreams on paper or dreams like on the internet. And so to see like you're somebody who I'm always like, oh yeah, you're consistently doing something is Geraldine. Like, it's here. It's like I'm here in life. I have dreams, I have thoughts, I have ideas. Like, let me get to them. I'm the bike path that you showed me. Yeah. You don't even know like how much that has literally saved my life. Like, that bike path has absolutely.
I have another one to show you.
Amazing. It's done so much.
I'm telling you, like, bring your cleats, bring your headband, 'cause it's about to ride.
Let's do it. You're a for real constant inspiration, at least in my life, as someone who's like going for the things that they want regardless of any potential noise. Like, I don't even believe that there is noise because you don't show it. Like, that's keeping you from the things.
Let me say this.
There's noise.
To a fault. Remember when I said earlier in the beginning, it's like, oh, we're going back full circle, like spending a lot of time alone and stuff. I live in my own head so much. I will be honest and say, I don't know what the fuck is going on in the world.
Real.
Which is kind of like, okay, girl, you can't really, like, I am not able to speak to a lot of things like current events, but I can encourage the hell out of someone. Like, I can be like, oh no, you can do it. You can do it, because it's just like, that's all I know. Yeah. But I really appreciate that. And I really feel like no one's looking. So I think that's why I'm able to just be crazy, because it's like, I guess to the question I said to you earlier, what's a lie you tell yourself? I didn't even realize it was a lie. But in my head, the lie is no one's looking. Yeah. So girl, just do you. Yeah. And people are looking. So I hope I just don't catch stage fright and then be like,
no,
like, you know, I don't.
And
like,
if you do, like, haha, like, it happens. You're human. It's part of the deal. Like,
yeah,
no one's expecting you to be perfect. And if you don't try, then, like, you know, sometimes you need
True.
that. Like, it really, again, it is
Yeah,
all
yeah.
necessary. Like, you have to feel in your body, like, failure or like embarrassment is a feeling that you can feel. Like, anything that you feel, you can like find in your body if you like take a moment to really find it. A pain, an ache or something.
Yeah.
And when you have to be able to feel what it feels like to fail, if that makes sense. Like, what that feeling, what that like embarrassment feels like.
Yeah.
You have to know what that feels like. Like, that's just part of learning sensations and learning yourself. Like, it's part of the deal. It's part of the deal of being here. So you're human. You're supposed to make mistakes. It's how you learn.
It's true.
If you're perfect, you're not. There's no.
You're bland. You're boring.
Yeah. You need to fall.
This is great. Well, on that note, I hope everyone enjoyed this. And I feel like I'm going to go outside now and live my life, because you're making me want to like go read more books.
Yeah.
Get on my bike. And this weekend we're writing.
Live, laugh, love.
Boom.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.